Yeah, we are here for weekly recaps for week 1 and week 2. I'm here with two guest hosts, SFJ and Sean. Say
What's
hello.
up? Hi.
I'm SFJ, and I beat Stibe week 3.
This was a recap for weeks 1 and week 2.
I'm, I'm,
So,
yeah,
I'm getting ahead of myself.
okay, so
I'm sorry, start carry on.
yeah, okay, so right now I'm actually showing the cool logo that SFJ made. But enough of that. Let's go to the first battle. So it is Marcelo versus Frankie. So do you want to talk about it, SFJ?
Sure, so Marcelo played Frankie. He beat him 3-0, so good job on Marcelo. I call Marcelo bad a lot of the time, but he's honestly pretty solid. He he put in a lot of work with Rhyperior in the end, which is pretty cool to see. I know that tiers don't really matter, especially in a league where there aren't tiers, but not a bond you don't see too much usage of. Putting in that much work in the end was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think
I'd say the play of that match definitely was Marcelo tried to trick the Snorlax's Scarf with his Rotom, but he realized that the Snorlax was a big threat, so that he knew that Frankie would probably switch and not want a Snorlax to take a Scarf, so he doubled out into Banette on the Tentacruel and got more momentum off of that and killed the Tentacruel. And that, I think, I just made the match a lot easier for Marcelo, so he could win. Yeah, I guess. Anyone else want to say anything about that?
yeah, just kind of on the Rhyperior set. I think overall that obviously won him the game, but I think he put a lot of thought into that set especially.
I put in a lot of thought to that. I always help him prep, and I told him to bring Rhyperior here.
Oh right, so credit to you.
Well,
Yeah.
he was like, oh man, or he was like, oh, Mega Pinsir fucking destroys me. And I was like, you have a Rhyperior. And he was like, oh wait, can it close combat me? And I was like, it does like 30. And so I was like, yeah, bring Rhyperior. It's a pretty good check to like his two main offensive threats. And then he did. And it also checked the Tyrantrum, which was really good.
Yeah, Marcelo, do you even calc? Come on, buddy.
Yeah, probably not. He just like goes off of like, oh, this is a super effective move. I shouldn't bring this Pokemon.
And on the other
I
hand,
love him.
I guess Frankie didn't plan enough for Rhyperior because after Tentacruel was gone, he really couldn't do anything at all.
Yeah, and everything else, like, he couldn't switch in Registeel on an Earthquake. But that's like his only thing he could really do to touch it. He could have maybe brought like maybe Seed Bomb on Snorlax to try and weaken it, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't even switch into it. Like half of his team is weak to rock and the other half is weak to ground. I guess that's just kind of how his team is built. I mean, it is Edgequake and like there's only a select few that resist it, but still.
I don't think for Frankie it was as much down to the prep. It was more so losing Tentacruel early game. Obviously, if he'd have that around, he could have at least put some pressure on Rhyperior, and also got rid of Rocks, which damaged his team to some extent. So I think that's kind of where he went wrong, in my opinion.
Definitely, and that double that Marcelo pulled
Yeah.
gave him the momentum to kill it, which was good. Definitely.
Okay, so do we move on?
I don't really need to say anything else about that match. Kudos, Marcelo.
Okay, so next up we have me versus Max. I beat Max 3-0. Oh, by the way, should we go through the? I mean, you can see the teams that we brought in the screen right now, so I guess we don't have to go them through. So I actually think this was a pretty good match. We had a pretty equal matchups. It was Chandelure was able to kind of gain a lot of momentum, but at the same time I could always just switch in Blissey to kind of get it back to myself, and with that specs set, it actually didn't kill the momentum, like it literally didn't, because I had moves that could hit pretty much
Stop.
everything
Out
in
of
his
interest,
team.
what was your thought process in actually bringing Blissey with that set.
Well, because we had special attackers in Chandelure, Blastoise, Klefki, I guess Mew. So Blissey could hit those mons pretty heavily. Like
Okay.
it can
Yeah, that
two
makes
shot
sense.
two
While
shot
still being able to
Klefki.
check them because
Yeah,
it's Blissey.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's smart. And it had Healing Wish, which was pretty cool.
yeah. Um,
I love that move.
it's very
It's a
nice.
great
Yeah,
move, honestly.
it is.
It's one of
But
my favorites, but my favorite isn't that.
I guess the one very huge momentum changer or shifter was Curran roosting on my fortress and then carrying it with HP Fire. And a while later, Haxorus managed to get up a DD, and basically I might have lost there, but I go for a Shadow Ball with my Cofagrigus on his taunt, which means that I can potentially bring the Haxorus to Aqua Jet range. While if he had gone for outright straight, I might have lost actually. But I guess he was trying to preserve the Lumberry for the confusion, not for the burn. But because I thought he was Lumberry, I decided that I want to weaken him instead, and that turned out pretty well for me. But it was
Definitely.
yeah, it was kind of a misplay from him, and I guess it honestly cost him the match. And then as I managed to whittle down the Haxorus, I could just clean up with Mega Sharpedo. And high jump miss that he got with Medicham didn't honestly matter because from the
And this would have changed differential.
not
I made it a 2-0.
not necessarily because Sharpedo had like a roll to kill Medicham from full.
Wow, I mean, it has like 140 attack and strong draw, so that makes sense, but it's still insanely strong, because Medicham actually has like base 85 defense.
Yeah.
In Mega, at least. Man, Sharpedo's good. I mean, it's pretty obvious it's a Mega, but...
yeah, surprisingly strong. But yeah, Haxorus had a chance to do a lot, and Max has definitely proven that he can use it very well, which, you know, I kind of criticized him for picking Haxorus over Webs, but it's definitely proven that Haxorus does very well with it.
Yeah.
It just gives him an option to set up at the end of the day, and really, I think with Koya and Black and Haxorus to think about, I know it's two dragons, but it really does kind of have to make you think about how can you deal with each of them, but how are you going to deal with both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything to add?
No.
Well played, Stibe. You deserve the victory.
Stibe is better than all of us combined.
Yeah. Well, apart from you now, obviously.
No, I feel like he's still better. Honestly. Just because you, like... Yeah. If you kill a police officer, does that make you a police officer?
How can you compare Pokemon to being a police officer? You
see all those stories about Pokemon Go?
Okay, so...
Alright, let's move on.
Yeah, okay, so we have Anthony versus Patrick, which I guess is also mine. What happened? Sorry. Yeah, okay. So... Anthony versus Patrick. 5-0 to Patrick. So, yeah, this ended up being a battle between Patrick, who is a decent player, and Anthony, who turned out to be a rather inexperienced player, I guess. And like there were just few things that I guess Anthony should pay some attention in the future, like putting on all EVs to each of his mods, and kind of paying attention to having physical moves on physically oriented mons. And like I guess you know, Zardex is his strongest special attacker, but it's still better as a physical attacker. So I would really recommend having a physical set on Zardex, unless special stands out in the certain matchup. And yeah, there was that weird Blizzard play with Kingdra while he clicked Blizzard while like
Well,
Scald or
water
any
move
other
would
water
have
move
been
was like,
better most of the time.
yeah, like anytime. He had Rotom
Yeah.
Wash, but Blizzard isn't good against that either, so
Hey, Blizzard can freeze.
yeah.
I can respect that. I guess I respect going for freeze.
I mean, yeah, there's that. What is it basically? It's like
It's 10%.
it's like 7% when you take that.
That
Oh,
it
wait,
can
what is-
miss, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's basically a 7%. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Mm.
But you know, why to go for a 30% burn when you can go for a 7% freeze?
That's like also a good idea.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think just I guess some kind of advice from me. I guess the way I kind of improved in my battles was actually watching other people battle and also listening to these kind of commentaries, watching PTL, those kind of games and hearing their input really kind of helps you get into the mindset of it and kind of get yourself into the mindset of making the right plays and prepping for the right team and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm sure he'll come good and he'll be showing us all up in no time.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, good places to check like tips or stuff is go smoke like smoke on website. There are a lot of good stuff, good
Yeah,
sets
a lot of stuff
with
on
which
there.
to use, and search for some competitive battling from YouTube.
Yeah.
He'll be
There's this guy, his name is Sturdy Stabrava. I think you should check him out.
You think
Yeah,
so?
he's okay.
Okay, whatever. I wouldn't.
Me
So,
neither.
whose channel is this going up on?
I mean, do we have anything to say about Patrick? Like, it was
Yeah.
like solid Patrick.
He's a good friend of mine, and he played this just fine. He had a good matchup, also considering his opponent's skill level, but also just kind of on the team in general.
Yeah.
So I don't think this was necessarily the hardest match, all things considered, but still good job to him. He didn't play horribly.
No. He
Yeah.
showed, I think he showed a lot of respect for his opponent. Although he may have seen like early on that he wasn't kind of making obvious plays, he was doing crazy switches like switching Gramble into a sludge bomb and things. He still had a lot of respect for his opponent and kind of played, I guess, to the best of his ability and didn't do anything stupid. So I guess respect for that,
Yeah.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Good guy, Patrick.
Good guy, Patrick.
That's him. I don't know who else that would be.
Okay.
Are we gonna move on then?
Yeah. Okay, so SFJ, your turn
So
again.
Justin versus SFJ,
Yeah.
and you know who that is. Alright, so this doesn't have a replay, so I'll just talk about it, I guess. So, looking at team preview, I guess we want to call it that, I could tell that he didn't have a good flying resist because it was his Mega Diancie. So I figured, oh man, Torn T is going to be putting in a ton of work in this matchup. I better weaken stuff so I can win with it in the end. So I did stuff like, you know, getting damage on the Licky Licky, killing it, killing my Lodic, and killing everything basically to the point where Torn T could win. Bringing Iron Tail on it was also pretty important so I could kill Diancie, because while I say it's not a good flying resist, it will eat up at least one Hurricane. So that's that. But also, I want to say his Fairy resist was Durant, and Gardevoir didn't get a single kill, which I definitely thought it would. Thought it would put in a lot more work than it did. Yeah, he did have Shadow Ball and Latios, though, and staying in was a pretty risky play considering how good Latios did, I guess. But overall, I did fine. Of course, I won 3-0, but he did fine too. I think it was mostly down to matchup. I just had a bunch of really strong offensive Pokemon that he couldn't really switch into, like Crawdon and Tornti. And Jolteon also getting up momentum early on and later on and contributing to the win. And also I want to point out that he had choice banded Licky Licky. Or it might not have been banded, but it was offensive. It did like 60 to a Crawdon with Earthquake. It was great.
Yeah, like
I love that set.
Looking at the matchup, yeah, you're like really like just your matchup is clearly superior. So like I wouldn't have expected Justin to do that well. And overall, I think he has been performing relatively well compared to like what I expected, for example.
Yeah, he did. He did better than he could have. Definitely. He did. He did all right for what he could do. He played with what he played with the cards you're dealt.
Yeah.
I guess can't do very much about the matchup, but still played around it pretty well. But I think just definitely the matchup was the thorn in his side. I don't think that's the right term, but he lost. Moving on. Anyone else want to say anything? I think we did this battle justice.
Save the replay next time.
Yeah, I did. And then the time after that.
No, to be brief, I looked at the text replay, I guess, but it's quite hard to get a sense of how the match goes through that. So I'm not in a position to comment, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's my own fault, but I did what I could, so I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I remembered the match. It took a lot of like actual remembering because I'm bad at that, but you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
I won, he lost. Keck.
Yeah, that's what everybody expected anyway.
Wow.
And,
I didn't even go that far. Actually, I did go that far. Moving on.
I mean, what's like? It's clear that you were the favorite to win that one.
I'm everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
I mean...
Okay. Sean versus Tom. Sean, go ahead, please.
Oh, just yeah, everyone's expression says it all. For those of you who don't know or aren't included in this league or watching this, Tom is a good friend of all of
everyone.
But this season he drafted an insanely bulky team, and I think
Stall.
Stall, and I think it's about 6 out of 10 Pokemon, or 12, 10 or it's 12 Pokemon, isn't it? Have reliable recovery. So trying to plan to break down his team was absolutely ridiculous, to say the least. So,
definitely.
I kind of saw, I guess I saw my game plan at the start as Nasty Plot Crobat, and you know, desperate times call for desperate measures when Nasty Plot Crobat is your saviour. Unfortunately, it didn't kind of work out as planned, as he won over me in the end. I think SF, you'll have some things to say about his Venusaur set. Personally, I thought it worked well in the situation, but if it didn't work well, then he was pretty much screwed. So.
Okay, it made sense on some level, but if he brought Mega, it would have done the same thing in that situation. Yes. And also HP Rock over HP Fire, I hated that so much. It's easy to say that. Why wouldn't you have HP Fire?
No,
Sludge Bomb, literally. I mean, even if it was like a bulky Talonflame, it would just like take like 60 from an HP Rock and roost stall you out. Or like at least it would just like willow you and then roost up until you were in Brave Bird range.
He felt like because he brought that set, he knew how the game was going to go.
I mean, yeah, he had a pretty alright matchup. He had good checks to mostly everything.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
I would like to say.
I think.
Yeah,
sorry, Star.
I would like to say about that Venusaur set though, because like you said that Venusaur gets completely walled by Scissor, but at the same time he has the Entei that can just come into Scissor and click the free burn move, the Sacred Fire.
Yeah.
So I guess it doesn't matter that much.
He has like he has like he has a bunch of Scissor switch-ins, I mean, but the same also applies to Talonflame, I guess. It didn't matter in the end, but I would have brought HP Fire. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, probably too.
I mean, you can probably. There was a couple of plays in the match. If you, I think Stibe's going to put the replays down below. But there's 2 plays in the match which kind of determine the outcome. One in which was a weakness policy Entei set, which I brought against Tom in another league. And unfortunately, he missed a Stone Edge on Suicune, which he would have swept with that, so he probably would have 6-0'd me if it was for that. But well, no, because I think Talonflame's Brave Bird took him out at that point. But yeah, it was unfortunate, and also on Nasty Plot Crobat, so he crit me with Keldeo. So a few hacks on both sides of the field, but all in all, it was even. I personally think Tom deserved the match over me, which is why he took it. So, well, credit Tom. You played well.
Okay.
I will beat
definitely.
you one day.
All right.
So do we move to the plays and the months of the week?
Oh yeah. I mentioned my play, and when I talked about Marcel versus Frankie, I didn't realize we weren't supposed to do that yet, but
Yeah, it doesn't
whatever.
matter. You can say it again. So it was the.
Well, so are we gonna go in that order again?
I mean, just like, do you have something for every game or?
Well, I mean, I just did the one I had to do that week.
Yeah.
I could just look over my game really quickly and do one. I could probably think of something. I think the first two turns were pretty good because I got 2 crits. Honestly.
Okay.
Well.
He loves the crit. You call it a good play.
No, but no. I think if I were to say one, I would say, at least for my match, I would say him stinging with Latios to Shadow Ball the Gardevoir was pretty good because both of us. It was really risky because Latios put in a lot of work in that match, and if he sacked it, it could have gone a lot differently. But also, like, he realized that he didn't have a guard switch in, so he thought, yeah, I should probably do this just so I can get off damage on this and kill it with something else. It made sense. So I think that was a pretty solid play. Couldn't save him though.
Yeah. And do you have any Mon of the week?
Of this week, I'd say you said Rhyperior, and I'd probably also say Rhyperior. I can't really remember anything else that did a lot. Excadrill and Gengar also put in a lot of work in Patrick's match. Definitely that regular Venusaur. I think I'd say that.
I mean,
yeah, definitely.
I chose the Venusaur as the play of the week because, like, it was pretty much the only tank thing that we got this week. Unless you...
I mean, I can't argue with you there, but.
Yeah. And
I'm going to be the only one to step away from the Venusaur set and say Marcelo actually killing Tentacruel early game was probably the play of the week for me. Doing I think it was knockoff and then Shadow Sneak to finish him off.
You knock off into the sneaker.
The sneaker. It's probably a bad play on Frankie's behalf more so than anything, but just to get.
But that thing was kind of hard to switch into because, like we've said before, no dark resist, so he was kind of hard pressed on switching into that knockoff.
No, and
so but he probably should have looked at his priorities because, like he could have sacked maybe Tyrantrum or at least switched into it there because it got walled by Rhyperior. And it could have just gotten revenged by either Scarf Rotom or Ice Shard from Weavile. Yeah. I don't know. He could have played the match better, but I just think the matchup killed him there. Going back into more analysis, never mind.
Definitely. But yeah, Mon of the week for me was also Rhyperior, no, without a shadow of a doubt, to be honest. There's nothing else that kind of, like you said, there's a few things that that came close, but nothing kind of put in the work that it did. And
Yeah,
kind of,
good job, Rhyperior. I think I also told Marcelo to draft Rhyperior
Okay.
in general.
Yeah.
I also told him to draft Protom Fan, so I can take the blame on that one too.
Yeah, he doesn't have it anymore. He traded.
Yeah,
it
he got
to
rid of it
Embor.
for Embor, which actually didn't put in a lot of work against the stall person somehow.
Yeah, but Embor is great. I like
I
Embor.
love Embor.
I was considering it too, but I thought that Scolipede was better for my team.
Yeah, red. Yeah, you got the speed boost mons.
Yeah.
That's a cool core to have, although it'll inspire people to bring skill swap somehow. Somehow.
Yeah. Weird. Anyway, do we move to
Bye.
week 2 now?
Yeah.
Okay, so first, Marcelo versus Tom. Who had that? Was it you, SFJ? Or Sean?
I had that one.
I had
Okay.
Max versus Patrick,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
not me.
Sean.
Yeah, that's on me. Kind of just jumping into it. What was it? I think Tom. Yeah, so Tom won 1-0 in the end. But I think just kind of starting the game. I think Marcelo got off to kind of a great start with Latios. Just clicking Psychic 3 times and bringing 3 of his bulky Pokemon, and then getting rid of Skarmory as well. And like the 4th move of the game was insane. But then for kind of, I guess it was the second half in which he kind of just dropped off.
Yeah, he lost all that momentum by going for the Draco.
Yes, and just to kind of call out one play, Marcello, we was kind of talking about it, but I think just as kind of some advice, I think you to think out your plays a little bit further ahead. So bringing in Heatran and then doubling out into Florges on an EQ from Altaria to then take a return and get KO'd anyway. It didn't seem to make sense to me because Florges was the only thing that could take a hit and actually force the Altaria out or get rid of it. So
I'm just gonna tell one thing. The one person who to it makes sense is probably not very good at Pokemon. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I even asked him in the battle chat while the battle was going on. I said after he made that play, I said why, and then Tom got triggered. He was like, "Why are you talking in the middle of the battle? Please don't do that. You're distracting everyone. I hate you." I love calling that out. It's just really funny, but I probably shouldn't have said that because that's just a habit.
Yeah, I mean.
No, I love Marcelo and Tom. They're probably my 2 closest friends in the league. No offense to Stibe, I don't really know Sean that well, but yeah, they're just great people and great battlers. Good job, I guess. To Tom, well, both of them, they both played pretty alright except for that one play. Yeah. And Tom also staying in with his Clefable to T-Wave the Heatran. I didn't like that one either, but still, it didn't change too much.
No, I think from Marcelo's perspective, I think from week 1 and week 2, I think you have played really. You've really kind of improved your game a lot, and it really has shown. And I think it shows with your league position. I can't remember where you are right now, but you're pretty high up. But to bring Tom's team down to Tom's such bulky team down to a 1-0, I think
it's an accomplishment.
It really is, yeah. So,
and I'm gonna hopefully I accomplish more week 5, but it's a good start. It's a start.
I would like to say about Marcelo's. I love that Heatran set. I love offensive Heatran. I hate the Stallbreaker Heatran, but I love the offensive Heatran, so it was nice.
Well,
to see
this was kind of a Stallbreaker, but it was also offensive.
Yeah, but okay. I hate the especially defensive Stallbreaker.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty good, but it's like I'm not a huge fan of it. I also like Magma Taunt Tran, and I also like throwing on Solar Beam sometimes because you can just snipe like Slowbros or Azus or something.
Yeah. And
I guess I don't know if you've already said it, but to call out that play that the Solar Beam set on the Gastrodon. I don't know if that's what you just I missed it a little bit, but yeah, props to me. I think I thought that was quite quite a good set to bring because he got walled by Gastrodon all day.
Do we move on?
Yeah.
So it's me versus Frankie. Okay. So I don't actually have
Great.
much. I don't have much to say about this battle, mainly because like Frankie had no way to break through my Kyurem plus Lando T plus Blissey defensive core because my Kyurem was AV. Like he had nothing for that, and that's why he lost pretty big.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't even get to use my Manaphy.
It was probably some one of your many weird sets, wasn't it?
I think it was pretty standard. Oh yeah, it was actually.
Oh, was it just like Tail Glow offensive?
It was pretty bulky set, but it was Tail Glow 3 attacks. It was like Scald, Shadow
Tail Glow,
Ball,
so it had
Psychic.
like HP and stuff.
No, it has.
Well, that's still a thing.
Yeah.
But it was like it wasn't standard, but it was still like a standard set.
Yeah, and it
much.
had like Scald. No, it had Scald, Psychic, and Shadow Ball, if I'm correct.
Shadow Ball and yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've got nothing to add on that either. To be honest,
I don't really have any memories of this battle. Maybe I wasn't on when it happened, but
Yeah. I think the problem is that we're 2 weeks into the league, and we're really trying to remember what we've kind of been through. So if you remember 10 battles is ridiculously hard, but we're trying.
yeah. I also want to call out. Oh, I do remember something about this. I want to call out the Gastro Acid Amoongus. I thought that was a pretty cool set to bring to make the Sigilif take damage, or to... It's kind of the only thing it would do. It can maybe get rid of like Prankster on Thundurus, but that was a cool idea.
Yeah, and even it's good against the Calm Mind Manaphy.
That too. But no, Gastro Acid... Well, it would get rid of hydration, I guess.
Yeah.
So that you couldn't rest in rain.
Yeah.
That's also not bad. So cool set, still lost. Destruction.
Yeah. Also, he had one of the skill swap Espeon, and it didn't work because I didn't bring any speed boost.
Yeah. I don't know why everyone is so like, yeah, I should bring... I mean, it makes sense. Yes, it makes sense. But there's probably better ways to combat speed boosters. I mean, yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's weird. Like, the fact that 2 people in the first 2 weeks did that, it confuses me.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add? Do we move on?
No. And so I'm going to be doing some talking for Max versus Patrick. So
this is what we all have
battle.
been waiting.
Yeah, this is truly a great battle. Now, of course, there's one big thing in the match that everyone is saying, but there's one thing I actually want to point out that happened before that. It's actually before the battle technically starts. I really liked Max's lead of the taunt Stealth Rock Mew, because Patrick had Smeargle, so he was obviously going to lead Smeargle, because, like, Patrick, although it was also kind of risky, because Patrick had, I think, 2 potential leads, being Sableye, so he could get off his Mega, and Smeargle, so he could get up Hazards. But I think Smeargle is definitely the more likely of the 2, so the taunt Mew was really helpful, so he could also get up Stealth Rock before Sableye Mega, because he didn't even have Hazard removal, because why do you really need it with Sableye? So I think that was smart on Max's part, and he played pretty alright in most of the match, and one of his best plays, I think, was, so what happened was he got up a DD, scaring out the Jirachi with an EQ as he switched out into Sableye to sack it. Then he killed the Sableye, and then he went into Hippowdon. But he figured that, well, you know, Outrage isn't really gonna kill this. Hippowdon's super bulky, so I might as well just go for a crit. And he, you know, being better than Patrick, obviously, he gets it and wins. As Patrick drops 3 dots in the chat, and so Max wins 4-0 because he got a crit. good job to him. Props to you, man. I love you.
I fully agree with that. And Max, you're actually the only person who can get a crit on a Destiny Bond Smeagol. I respect.
Oh yeah,
that.
that crit too. That was that was justice.
Yeah, justice.
Yeah, it's funny. After that, Max is tied with Patrick. They're both 1-1 with differential of +1. It's something else.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing, but when you look at Patrick's team, like he also has no switches to Mega Blastoise, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So Max did like I feel Max had actually quite a good matchup here.
Yeah, but he actually, like, I'm gonna be serious here. He would have lost without the crit because it didn't have a chance to kill the Powdon, and then he would have roared it out, and Gengar would have won at that point.
I mean,
but good players.
Togekiss was still there, so it could have potentially.
Was it Scarf? Was it Scarf? I didn't really pay that much attention.
Yeah, I don't even know if it ever came.
If it was, then he definitely still won. But if it wasn't,
I mean,
I don't know. I'm not
he
too sure.
He definitely would have won with that, skill, because he definitely has the skill to flinch Patrick to death.
Yeah, he had the better matchup. Patrick didn't really have that much for Togekiss. Jirachi resists both stabs, but I don't think it resists a 60% chance.
Yeah.
How about you?
I mean, I think overall Togekiss has the better 60% than Jirachi in this particular matchup.
Yeah, cause Max had the better Prankstermon because it can T-Wave it.
Yeah.
Patrick had the Sableye, but he Mega'd it immediately pretty much. So he couldn't have even really beaten the Sableye or the Togekiss at that point. So Patrick, I think, just played poorly at that point, so that's why he lost.
I think that's the thing with Patrick. Something I've noticed with Patrick in kind of past leagues as well. He plays very much on tilt when something goes wrong. He then stops thinking about what he actually needs to do to win the battle. He just goes with his instincts, and that's naturally, we all know that's not the way to do it.
Yeah,
like you just said.
That actually, I feel like that happens to me sometimes too, because Stibe would probably know that the Ironhead flinch I lost even after. I mean, I can obviously attribute that to the flinches, and I still think I played all right after the flinches happened. Was that the game I lost to, no, I don't think that was the one where I lost to the Goodra. I think that's one where I lost to the Sub-CM Clefable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That one was okay, like, even outside of the Ironhead flinches, I had fun with that match. I got mad, but it was fun. It's always fun to battle Stibe. I'll say that.
Yeah,
Is that pretty much it for Max versus Patrick?
I guess so.
Okay, so Anthony versus me. So I'm not actually. I don't want to say too much about this battle because I'm scared. But I don't know. All right. So basically, I don't know. I realized, like, this is another battle where people don't have good flying resist. So I was like, okay, Tornteith's gonna put in a lot of work. I actually think it got 1 kill. No, I think it got 2. But still, the Pokemon that actually ended up putting in all the work in the end was Choice Scarf Gardevoir. Not really in the fashion I expected. I mainly brought it so that I could revenge kill Kingdra because I could trace the Swift Swim, and then I was beat it with the Choice Scarf and kill it. But that didn't really happen because he didn't bring Rain or he had Kingdra but without Rain. So yeah. And another thing that I thought could have put in a lot of work, because he was kind of switching into ground for him is kind of scary because he has a couple immunities, but they're all weak to Dragon. So Garchomp was pretty good. But sadly, I got Flamethrower burned and somehow still ended up beating the Charizard. It was great, really. But I also brought Garchomp so that I could revenge kill a DD Dragonite and a DD Zardex. but that also didn't happen. So yeah, it was a very interesting battle. You had the very calculated mixed Miltank set. I kind of liked that one,
Oh yeah, with
but
Ice Beam
I think
and Cramble with
and Rock
Thunder.
Slide, yeah, both
Yeah.
of them doing the exact same damage to Mandibuzz. But good match, bro. I think it was mostly matchup. That's that. Anyone else wanna shed some light on that match?
I love how it started with 2 misses. So you missed the
Yeah,
Hurricane and then he missed the Thunder.
yeah. One of them would have Oak. It was
Yes.
around 40. I don't know, depending on his investment. I'm not sure.
No, but I don't know how much it would have affected the game, but it's just funny to see it start like that.
I mean, Para.
Yeah.
That's always an option. Oh no, yeah, I was naive, so it probably would have done probably half
Okay.
around there. Because even with Granbull's not that amazing special attack, Torntea still doesn't have that great special bulk, and it's base 60 special attack on Granbull. I have seen worse. There is Mega Beedrill. Yeah. So, interesting match. I'll say that. I'll always say that.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I just want to say that to Anthony that it's most of the time it's better to just mega your Zardex even if you're afraid of ground types.
Even if you're afraid
like,
of, yeah, no, he said, oh, he has a dragon type, I shouldn't mega so I don't get hit super effectively. Everyone has a dragon except for Sean, I think. So are you gonna bring a Zardex only against Sean?
Yeah, you can well, maybe this is requires a bit of thinking, but like Hey Bumper Flygon can actually check guard jump or something like that. You can switch into EQ and then just drop a Draco or click Outrage or whatever.
And a great match.
Yeah.
Alright, I think that's pretty much all we can say about that match before we get someone mad. So should we move on to Justin versus Sean?
Yeah. I hope, firstly, Anthony, I hope with our advice has kind of helped you in some way as well.
Yeah, for being too harsh, it's because we care about you and we want you to do better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're in with the experts now, so
yeah, the dank memesters. That's what we are.
Definitely. I mean, learn from Tom.
Yeah.
Bring a Venusaur with Hidden Power Block.
No, yeah, definitely. Bring Fire Blast Aggron 1 week. Bring Autotomize, Head Smash, and then like some other coverage. Be like Cooper. If anyone watches the GBA, you know him. He's awesome.
No attack table. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. All right, so Sean, take the floor.
Sean won, by the way, just saying, because it's only showing the 0-0.
It says 0-0, but it doesn't give you any hints.
Yeah, Sean won.
Oh, what a proud win. 0-0. I'm so happy with that.
Yeah.
No, but
well, it's better than nothing.
Exactly. Although technically was nothing.
Well, it's better than being it's better than being 0-2 and -1. Like 1-1 and -1 is better.
Yeah. So I'll tell you one thing this week which I regretted was not picking, and you're all gonna laugh at me for this, but not picking Mega Amp for us. I realised bulky water types, and you can probably take advice of bulky water types against my team. I'd rather not. Don't bring them, please. But seriously, yeah, Milotic put in a lot of work against my team. He pressured me to the point of wanting to rage quit. But yeah, overall,
I mean, you can still change that. You can still exchange one of your megas.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's not a question.
No,
I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, there are a few things missing from my team, i.e. a dragon and something to do with bulky water types. And there's one thing which will deal with that, which I already have. So,
well, in some fashion.
Yeah, but if you kind of watch the replay for this, you'll I saw at the start of the game that Carmine Suicune put in a ton of work. But unfortunately there was a crit. There was a few crits throughout the game, which was kind of even, fortunately. But a crit on Suikin. I mean, if you didn't get the crit on Suikin, you would have had to storm me out, which would have maybe just extended the battle. But Milotic may not have been such an issue to my team. But yeah, in the end, Talonflame, Smogon Bird coming through and cleaning up for me. So yeah.
Good job, Talonflame, my baby.
Talonflame, yeah. I haven't actually used Talonflame competitively before, so this is the first time. 4 times weakness the rocks puts me. 4 times weaknesses put me off anything. I mean, I got a Scizor and a Talonflame. And
yeah, I just want to tell you something. You should bring. Oh, maybe I'll help you prep one week just so you can bring it. You should bring Natural Gift Talonflame one week. I love that set.
Yeah.
I don't know what berry, but there's a lot of options, so you can do whatever you want. Something walls you, just throw on something to hit it with Natural Gift. I think Natural Gift is my favorite move because it's like a physical hidden power, but it's a lot stronger.
Yeah, and it's probably it's the most unexpected move as well. You can't plan for it.
And it's also kind of, it's almost as common as Hidden Power. Everything from Gen 1 to 4 pretty much gets it, and then some select things from Gen 5 and 6 get it also.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think it was AV Macro, which I was quite happy to see. That was a bulky Macro. That was just to see it live an Ice Beam from 50% was my hero. Really is my hero.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
So yeah.
All right. I think that's pretty much all we can say about
but
the matches.
actually,
oh, apparently not.
One thing, I mean, I just thought about it that crit on Suicune, because I don't think Justin had that much for a Calm Mind Suicune, so I'm not sure, but I think he actually got pretty lucky there. It could have been a lot worse for him.
He's lucky and bad, like me.
He could have stalled me out with Milotic. It was probably his second option.
Yeah, because it wasn't Crocoons. It was 3 attacks, Calm Mind, which I think is like a Gen 4 set.
Yeah.
It sounds like it at least.
Yeah, it seemed to work against his team. So.
I mean, it works. It can work. I'm not trying to diss it, but it's definitely a lot more situational. Because Crocoon's really easy to. Well, I wouldn't say easy, but it's a lot easier to throw on a team than like a more offensive Calm Mind or Calm Minder.
And just to point out, a +2 Hidden Power Electric from Suicune on a Milotic did 24%. That is insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I know. Milotic is really good.
Yeah.
I was thinking of getting it over Alomomola because they're both pink, but I wanted the Healing Wish a little more, I think. Although I haven't brought Alomomola once, so maybe I should have reconsidered that.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's not that great. I was thinking of bringing it against Stibe, but it gets overpowered way too.
I think
that's for next week. Hang on.
Yeah. I think the problem it's just very passive. Is the problem. I've drafted it before, and it was good. It was good in certain situations, but it was a very passive Pokemon. You know what it's going to bring.
Yeah, it's just going to be Wish Protect, probably Toxic, and then just Scald. Yeah. It's really weak. It has 75 attacks, so you could probably make like a Waterfall work and do a decent amount.
You could try like
way better.
AV set with the Waterfall, Aqua Jet, Scald, and Knockoff.
I want to see that. Please bring that.
That sounds really bad, honestly. Because Lomolo's main like selling point over other Pokewaters is that it can Wish Pass and it gets Healing Wish. And also Knockoff, I guess, but why wouldn't you just use Wish? I don't get it. Although it does actually get an interesting move. Well, it gets like Calm Mind and like Shadow Ball and Psychic and stuff, but it has now at all.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I got to admit that Sean is pretty good at using Suicune. You even beat me once with that, if you remember.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure next time we play Stibe, you'll have a lot of plans in place to to take it down.
Kill
That's
it.
not to say it's not coming.
Yeah.
Just be prepared. Be prepared.
I will be prepared for everything. That's why I win.
Yeah, if that's the Stibe way.
That's the Stibe way.
Yeah. Okay, so
Alright, I think that's probably it for week 2. And then I guess we can do play
and
of...
months of the week.
Alright,
Still.
so for me, I think play of the week was just the outrage crit. That was way too good for any of our human minds to comprehend.
Agreed.
And then the mod of the week, that's really easy. It was involved in the best play, so I think I'd say Haxorus.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the skill.
Yeah, definitely.
Skill.
Oh wait, I already have that. Okay, yeah. Definitely. Good job. Kudos to Max.
You trained
Good
it well.
job.
You've trained it well. Whatever you've been feeding it, it's obviously liking you.
Yeah. If I'm gonna be serious, I'd say I think I'd actually say Talonflame, getting like 4 kills.
Thank you.
Talonflame is good.
Talonflame is actually my play of the week, the Talonflame sweep, and the kind of consistent play around the mons that walled it, like getting rid of that melodic, or at least reaching it to the point where it was at Brave Bird range. However,
I'd also back my case and say it was player of the week. If only Talonflame lived on 1%, then I would have been a very happy man. But
yeah, 1-1 and then plus 0. Nice.
Yeah, just not skillful enough.
My Pokemon of the week actually is I actually chose Kyurem, my own mon, because I was very impressed how well it did against Frankie, just completely walling his team pretty much.
Yeah, only you could make Kyurem work defensively.
I mean,
Except it's not true.
Yeah, it was AV with some HP. Didn't even have any special defense, and it still just walled everything. It's just Kyurem is actually pretty bulky.
Yeah, good job. I'm just gonna say Talonflame though. I'm pretty biased towards Talonflame because I used it Season 1 and it bodied everybody. I think I brought it every battle except for one, and it only died like 3 times out of like 15 battles.
I've just really got to learn how to use it. I think working your way around the common weaknesses that it has, i.e. the recall that it takes and the rock.
And the stealth rock. Yeah.
It's just learning how to use it properly, and eventually I will.
You'll master the art.
I'll master
of
the Talonflame, yeah, and it'll
yeah.
accept me as a father.
But I don't think you'll master it until you've brought Power of Solar Beam.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yeah, you actually should. Okay, yeah, you should bring Sunny Day, Solar Beam, Natural Gift set someday.
And Solar Beam and Natural Gift. Hit 2 different things, you know. Actually, Solar Beam could work. I won't say where. It's kind of obvious, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil anything and I don't want to give anyone ideas.
Private message me.
Sure, okay. When you... I might. I want to see it happen.
Any advice? I'm willing to give Funky Sets a go.
Yeah.
I guess for my play of the week, I want to give some kind of credit to Tom for bringing his to stop the Latios seriously destroying his team. Just clicking Roost on Zapdos. I didn't really have much else.
Yeah.
But it's kind of
do the worst play of the week.
Yeah, that would be.
Okay, for week 2, it was Marcelo switching into the Earthquake with Florges.
Agreed.
Definitely. Yeah. And week 1, I don't really know week 1. I don't really remember a lot of the plays in week 1. Venusaur. just the idea of that set should never have came to fruition and worked on some level.
Okay. And just kind of finish off my mon of the week. Backing up Tom again was Mega Altaria. So really bringing it.
That's not a bad idea. It died, but it put in a lot of work.
It very much kind of
because of that Florges play.
Yeah.
But also because it was like defensive. It was really bulky. He showed me the set. It was like max, but it also had a lot of speed.
Mm. I think the
It was pretty
defensive
cool.
Altair is
Pretty cool
really,
set.
it's I think it's my favourite Altair set, the defensive one. It's
Yeah.
very then becomes very hard to kill. So
Yeah, it's only got it has 4 weaknesses, but it has good defenses in general, so it can live hits.
yeah.
Yeah, 248 HP, 88 defense, and then the rest in speed. Probably speed creeping for something after a DD. Oh, it also doesn't outspeed an offensive Heatran, so very bad.
Oof.
I'll say that. I'm really big on speed creep, so if you don't creep for the right things, I will hate you. It's how it is.
Yeah.
It's important at the end of the day.
Be like
Definitely.
Jazzy and bring just max speed.
Max speed, max attack, 4 and something. Even on a Pokemon, max HP. No, not 248, max HP. Good job. I mean, you can't hate on her. She's the best
Yeah, exactly.
ever. Yeah. All right.
I mean, she's never lost to me, I think.
How many times have you actually played her, though?
I'm pretty sure we haven't played ever.
That explains it.
Yeah.
Usually will beat you though, Stibe, when she does.
I think I've lost to Stibe twice in League, and beaten him twice, I think. And then in terms of casual battles, I watched a replay he did where I brought one of his own teams against him, and I won. It was like just a random OU match. So I brought one of his teams. First of all, his teams are always the best. I will say that, and I beat him. I mean, Stibe would probably know the team. It's the Mega Garchomp Sticky Web team.
Yeah,
It's something else. I don't think anyone. You should put it in the description.
Yeah. You just send it to me and I'll do a live showdown with it.
Yeah, sure. Or I'll just send you all the Stibe teams I have.
Awesome.
I actually just
I have like I have a lot. 1, 2, 3, 7 different Stibe teams.
I've made a couple teams recently which are pretty nice. Another of them includes Embor, and the other one.
Oh yeah, I think you showed me that one.
Yeah,
They didn't
yeah.
show it to me. You told me some of your thought process, and it's unmatched.
Yeah, it's an Embor team with dual healing, which is pretty nice. And
Oh yeah, I think I kind of remember something like that.
and then I have a Mega Teetar Manaphy team. That's very nice too. Mega
Yeah.
Teetar is so underrated.
All right, so
it's very cool.
be sure to hit me up.
Yeah, sure. Okay. But is this all
think that's pretty much-
for weeks 1, weeks 2, weeks 1 and 2? Do you have anything you
Yeah.
want still to say, or do I
I'm
just?
just gonna say that I'm really excited to talk about week 3 because no details except I've actually said a lot about it, and it was a good match. My match in week 3.
Yeah,
We'll
he
get
played
there
against me,
eventually,
yeah.
and it was something.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess
just-
that's that.
I guess just to say as well, if anyone has kind of any feedback on, I guess, how you'd like us to lay out these kind of weekly recaps, then do let us know and we'll take it into consideration. And
Yeah.
also, Stibe will probably mention, but you'll find the replays down below for all the matches.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope you
Yeah.
and look at the Altaria EQ on the floor. Just it's funny.
Yep. All right.
Yeah,
Also, Stab, I want to say something. I don't watch a lot of your videos, and I think to make it more watchable probably is background music, because just kind of the talking, that's not gonna catch a lot of people's attention.
Yeah,
Well, I guess mine, but like I think background music would make it a lot easier to just listen to or like leave on in the background.
Okay.
Yeah. Or music
Lot
to
more
blow out the
soothing.
voice, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, music to drown out the voices.
Yeah.
All
Definitely.
right. Thanks for the feedback. Also,
The feedback. Yeah, you asked for feedback.
Yeah.
You ask, you get.
Yeah, you ask and you shall receive.
I guess I should also say that go check Sean's channel, and do you have a channel, SFJ? You said you'd
I have a
upload.
channel that I never upload. Maybe
said you would.
I wanted to upload, but
Sold it.
OBS is awful. I hate OBS.
Okay.
What do you use to record, Stibe? I want advice.
Camtasia Studio.
Oh, okay. Maybe okay.
Yeah.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, I use OBS as well, and it is horrific, but kind of as a basic tool, it's useful.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've
hopefully
tried. Maybe my computer is probably just bad.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, I'll just cut this recording now. So just say bye to the viewers.
Farewell.
yeah, well,
That
indeed.
was a little
Don't
loud,
believe
but
them. They will be in some next episode, I think. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Oh, bye.